And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 23 yards on the play. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And a guy that knows a thing or two about making tackles behind the line of scrimmage, Kevin Green, at it again.
How about the ferociousness that he played with? And you remember that long flowing hair that came out of the helmet? Almost like a lion's mane for him, right?
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Skirts by him at the 35. And now running right through it. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now Young. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Marcus Golden in there to get him for a loss of 5. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gone!
Young now. Eluding the pressure right. And some room to roam now. And he's taken down inside the 30. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this 1st half of action. On 1st and 10, Young forced out to his left. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
This is Sanders. And it's a touchdown. Barry Sanders, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Madden Legends will extend their lead.
A touchdown run for Barry Sanders. How about this, partner? 99 career rushing touchdowns and 10 more receiving in his NFL career.
And a stat you and I were looking over before the game. At one point, he held 34 NCAA records. And in his 1988 Heisman Trophy campaign at Oklahoma State, He had 44 touchdowns in how many games?
12 games, and I'm not sure there was more excitement generated by a runner than Barry Sanders playing for Oklahoma State.
And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you,
What was
maybe
that?
they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post. At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Throwing, Bradford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, with that incompletion, Charles, I want to revisit our preseason Super Bowl picks.
Must we?
Well, we're getting closer and closer toward the playoffs. So
we have to revisit
who
them?
did you have? You had the Falcons.
I had Atlanta.
But you couldn't predict all those injuries the Falcons
Couldn't
had.
predict all the injuries, and heading into their open week.
And the pressure gets to Bradford, and down he goes. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On third down, Johnson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Young back near the goal line. Throw right side is hauled in by the tight end Gonzalez. And he's going to be out of bounds up past the 5. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7. They'll run with Barry Sanders. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. So we've reached the intermission, and what right now? And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Fighting off the defender. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Madden Legends offense trotting out again. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take
a big seam, and he might go all the way. And he will have a touchdown. Barry Sanders, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Madden Legends will extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. Looking to throw, Young. Able to get away. And now he bowls him over. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to be set up in excellent field position up past the 45.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
A first down throw for Bradford. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he's got Fitzgerald. And they got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So they went to the booth to see if that was a touchdown, and they have decided it will not be a touchdown. 6 points off the board. Now a 2nd down throw for Bradford. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out now come the legends. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Escaping the pressure right. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On third down, that's Sanders. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he will find his man on the outside. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
When Tony Gonzalez makes catches, sometimes I feel bad, like it's almost routine. And that's really not what the deal is. This is a guy who has to work his way open on every play because he's such a featured guy. But he's also a guy that throughout his career, there's a little bit of a loyalty and a soft spot for Kansas City, his first team. When he went to Atlanta, did you know he kept his mouthpiece from Kansas City, which was kind of that yellow that goes in the Kansas City uniform? Not in the Atlanta uniform, but he kept wearing it because he remembered the good times he had in KC. I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows.
Welcome back live to Orlando. Quarter.
4 down, check, 4 down.
Now a first down throw for Young. Steps away to his left. A strong running. A beautiful fake. Space to run past the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 11th. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding.
And this results in 6. Touchdown. Steve Young with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Madden Legends will extend their lead.
Well, it's absolutely not surprising to me at all to see them in the end zone yet again.
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1, we want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable they didn't even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Dumping it off for Johnson, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
A second down throw for Bradford. Pass incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. And that'll make it third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On third down, Bradford. And able to find Kirk complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. You got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best. Wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now second down. They'll give it to him up the middle. And this has been a familiar sight all Afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Time for a break. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. Working out of the gun, Bradford. This is caught, and he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Christian Kirk, a 7-yard touchdown grab, and the Cardinals get a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
And he is going to go down, back at the 11-yard line. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and they end up getting sacked.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And Young's going to throw it here. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. And now the Cardinals are going to use another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. They run with a Hall of Famer, Sanders. A beautiful spin and room to run. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Young to throw it. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. 6-time Pro Bowler Randy Moss, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough leg. Underneath him, mechanics might have been off, maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Young with it, 3rd and goal. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting this sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up.